I'm Christina, a recovering people pleaser turned assertiveness expert. I was tired of taking the back seat to what other people wanted, and I finally cracked the code to go from hesitant and timid to self-assured and confident. I became a women's empowerment coach so that I could help other women like me find their words, feel heard, and step into their power. If you struggle to speak up in tricky situations and you're looking to change the way your conversations go, you're in the right place. For some reason, I'm feeling this pull to be a little vulnerable with you. I'm in a bit of an interesting time in my life. I help women ask for what they want and what they need and to find their voice. And I guess you could say that I just did that in a really big way. I asked for what I needed and what I knew deep down somewhere was right for me. And there's been a lot of emotions attached to it. And this is why I want to share this today with you. Because sometimes, and we know this logically, but sometimes it's not pretty. It really isn't. But I feel like maybe in sharing this with you, you can relate, and maybe you can see a little bit of yourself in my journey. And I don't know, I hope it helps someone. I hope it helps someone out there. So hopefully I don't start crying, but let's see. I don't know. Who knows? My husband and I have been together for just about 10 years. And this month we will be married for 8 years. But we are separated as of right now. And I've made the decision that I am going to go through with a divorce. And this is one of the most emotional things, the most heavy things that I think I've ever asked for. And I don't know. Part of me is like, why are you sharing this, Christina? But in another way, what I'll tell you is that my reasons are my reasons, and there are hard days and there are easier days and things like that. But I think what I want to share maybe is it's been a rocky road. It was hard for us to go through this. And yet, my ultimate happiness, my greater happiness, is here on the other side of it in ways that I didn't even know. And there's ways that I didn't even know. It was either something I had given up or something I had brushed off to the side. And that's where I think maybe it can relate to you. That, if you had asked me a year ago, if you'd asked me 6 months ago, no, I'm with my husband. I love my husband. And there's still feelings there. I care for him. And it's not like we're never going to talk again. But what if, as hard as it might be, what if what you ultimately want or what you ultimately need is just on the other side of scary? What if? And so for me, there's a few things that I've gotten from this whole experience that I didn't maybe realize that were gone, or I was giving up or whatever. These are just off the top of my head. Space to be really fully me and be as clean as I want, as messy as I want, and not doing the dishes, doing the dishes. Space. And that's been really cool, I'll tell you. And that was one of those things that wasn't why I started down this journey. The main reason why I started this journey is because it was an unhealthy relationship. There's more to that I could share, but out of respect for the people in the situation and how we're still kind of going through it, I won't go into details, but I've decided what I'm going to say is it was an unhealthy relationship, and I think we can both live our best lives not together, which is still hard to say. But like I said, there's been benefits that I didn't even realize, didn't even think about. Values that I have, things that are important to me and they don't even have to be big things, but when you're in a couple, you're in an intimate relationship, you compromise. That is how it is, and I agreed to that. I signed up for that. And so, like I said, that's not why I'm leaving. But as I'm stepped away, I've seen like, oh my goodness, I had forgotten that was a value of mine. I had forgotten, or I didn't even realize that was something that was important to me, because in the context of the relationship, I was happy to compromise. And how much in that stage is healthy, and how much, splitting hairs, I guess. In one way, it's like, of course, marriage, relationships, it requires compromise. And in another way, it's like, but when you lose yourself, that's not good either. And it brings me back to this whole thing about speaking up for ourselves and speaking up for what we want. We women are taught in our different ways, depending on the culture, other people's needs come first. And we have a certain role in certain relationships, and that's where we need to be. That we sign up for it. We know we're adults, right? We're consenting adults. But we can say, okay, I'm not going to compromise on this, or this is something that is valuable to me, and I want to hold on to it. That's allowed. And it kind of took this whole process for me to kind of realize, to kind of appreciate, like, if it's something I value, if it's something that I really care about, then I can have it, or I can work for it, or I can have it in my life. And I don't know, like, I would like to think some way in years down the road that this is an inspiring message for someone, or, I can't believe I was so vulnerable, and I hope I help someone. But right now, in this moment, I'm also like, I don't know. I don't know. But the thing I can tell you, so how about this? I'll finish with this. The things that I've learned in this process. Yes, this has been a difficult process, and it has been weighing on me emotionally for several months, since before we decided to separate, and since we decided to separate. It's weighed on me very heavily. And yet, at the same time, it's been a big positive catalyst in my life. I'm here, so I'm in the car because I am going to attend my youngest nephew's soccer practice. He's in a program called Little Kickers. I get to come. without, do I have plans? Am I expected home? Am I this, that? Again, it's what I signed up for and it's what I gladly agreed to. But I want to spend time with my family. And I am. Because I can. Because I want to. What is that? That it's just so powerful. And I guess I want to share all of this, that yet it has been wrench. I mean, I cry on a regular basis. And at the same time, it's been really good for me. So maybe in your case, it's not divorce or a separation or, no longer having contact with your parents or dropping a friend from your life. But in what ways can you ask for your space or your own, something that you value? And a little bit more so, how can you do that and not feel guilty? And I'll tell you, there's been days where I felt guilty for different things about this whole situation. But then I'm also crystal clear on why it's important to me. And I remember that there's two people in a relationship. It takes two to tango, all those different things. And I'm happier for it. So, anyway, I hope this message means something or you get something from it. And if not, maybe then this was just a little mini therapy session. All right. Talk to you soon.